let's begin with a question from one of our doctors. Dr. Ray Jin asks, how does pH affect the nervous system? The question was, how does pH affect the nervous system? And for those of you that may not know, one of our quantum neurologists just started a company called 7.2, and it's focused on bringing the body back into its natural balance through its pH. pH is very important for the balance of the body. We measure, as doctors, we know about pH, or we've studied pH, and we know that different parts of our body are supposed to have different levels of pH alkalinity or acidity. The common one to recognize is that salivary pH is 7.2. Stomach pH should be very acidic at a level of 1. And through my training, through natural training, through standard process and other studies that I've done, the saliva is the key. You know, we begin our body's biochemistry at the mouth. The first thing we do as a child, you know, we activate our nervous system through its suckling reflex, the first reflex activated. And it's through that process of bringing saliva into our body that the saliva is supposed to start at 7.2, and then it gets digested. You know, as an adult, I believe we swallow about 1 liter of saliva per day. And that saliva gets concentrated down into the digestive tract, into the stomach, and it gets concentrated down into the acidity level of 1. Now, when we're looking at that as a concept, we have to recognize that pH scale, to my understanding, is like the Richter scale. It's on exponentially stronger for every unit that it moves. And so when we're dealing with the pH of the body, again, we're dealing with the physicality of the body. And through that physicality, we are managing the biochemistry of the body. And the body functions at its best when it's at the proper pH. All the biochemical actions occur efficiently when the body's at the proper pH. And the acidic lifestyle that most people have, diet, maybe smoking, eating too much red meats and rich foods, they add acidity to the body. It depletes what's called the buffer system of the nervous system. So in my opinion, it's extremely important to manage that. It's very simple to measure. You simply take your pH strip, a litmus paper, and you test your pH, and you're able to manage what pH the body is at. Dr. Howard Cohn has an amazing system of helping the body come back to normal. Normally, the way I personally did it previously was by juicing and a lot of green leafy vegetables, spinach, romaine, kale, and, you know, celery. All those vegetables contain what supports our body's buffer system. Now, it's difficult to do that on long term and to maintain that. So if you're interested in looking at what Dr. Howard Cohn has going, you could contact us here at the office and we can give you more information on that. Let's see. The other thing about pH is it affects our external environment. You know, the biochemistry is what we see happening within the body, but there's also what is projected outward. Our body projects itself. And we, you know, it reflects in our skin, it reflects in our beauty, it reflects in our ability to communicate with others. My friend Sam Adams talks about his acidic thoughts. So if our body is acidic, we are not going to be able to have the ability to contribute outwardly through our thoughts and our presence in a natural way. You know, our thoughts become acidic and not contributing to ourselves and the people around us. So I really like that concept, and I suggest everybody consider that when they're working on themselves and their patients. When I was losing my weight, the 90 pounds, it took me 2 years to drop the first 40 pounds. And then once I started using a certain system called the weight balancer system, and I was checking my pH every day, and I was managing to do my best to keep it within range, and when I was able to do that, the weight came off quicker and quicker. It took me about 2.5 months to drop 45 pounds. So 2 years of diet and exercise, hardcore exercise, 5-6 days a week, versus 2.5 months of focused nervous system rehabilitation through diet and diet techniques. So if you're interested in those concepts, please contact our office.